Welcome to the Idiot Farmers Volume 21. Today we spend some time in the kitchen and a little more time out on the farm. Hope you have fun.
So here's part of the tree. This sucker, pretty good size, all the way across the road. Look at that. I think this is a maple. And I had to guess, I'd say that's maple. Weird. Anyway, gonna have to come down here and cut that up with chainsaws to get it moved. That's a big sucker.
We're gonna make fried chicken again today for a little family get together. And so Phil is showing Lee actually how to break down a chicken.
We're doing an 8-piece cut up.
And Lee is going to do the second one so that we can have him available to do it going forward.
Nick's still there. What's that?
Nick's still there.
Yeah. So thigh, breast, wing, leg. 8-piece cut up.
Here, Phil.
Yep. Oh, is that for the chicken?
Yeah.
Hold on. Get the right pieces here.
Grab the bowl from me. There we go.
Leg. You may go ahead and put the breasts up.
Yeah.
We'll pull the tender off. These breasts will cut into.
These are the chickens we filmed the butchering of last year.
Yeah. This is a Cornish cross, right?
Yep.
And because the breasts are so huge, we're cutting them into pieces for the fry because you don't want a piece of fried chicken that big. And then what we're going to do is actually put this chicken in a marinade and then put it in the sous vide until it's time to fry
Hand
it.
me the small Instant Pot.
And those pieces are going to be cooked in the Instant Pot with some celery and onions and stuff to make a stock.
So you got that? Oh, we're using a boning knife. Technically a rigid boner. What?
There's nothing funny about that, Mom.
Uh-huh.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm really just 12.
Always wash your chicken.
Yeah, there's some blood in there and stuff. I've already done a video on the how-to for frying chicken, so we're not going to do that again today, but we are going to help to have the sharp side down.
Do this.
This isn't exactly how Phil showed him to do it, but he's getting it done, so
Yeah, see. Bam.
you can just throw that into the bucket and that way it's not in your way. Normally I would do some buttermilk and spices, maybe even a little hot sauce, but I don't think we have buttermilk today, so we're just going to use a little half and half.
Well, that worked, but
It's not much of a drumstick.
yeah, it is. It's
all right.
just a little bit of the bone got cut through.
Perfect. So here is our chicken for frying and our chicken for stock. So we're gonna get that going. Also today I'm gonna be making my mother's potato salad recipe. So I will be videoing that here in a little bit. So I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to make my mom's potato salad, but I'm going to try it in the Instant Pot. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting the potatoes together and I'm putting them in a steamer basket, and I'm going to put more potatoes in the steamer basket. I gotta wash this one first. And then put the eggs on top of the potatoes to cook them all. And you cook them on high for 4 minutes, and that should get the potatoes to a nice consistency. And that also is hard boiling the eggs. This is very interesting because if you hard boil the eggs in the Instant Pot, a big problem with a lot of farm fresh eggs is that when you boil them, they don't pull from the egg that easily. The shells don't pull from the egg that easily. And so they're really hard to peel. But when you do them in the Instant Pot, they peel like a dream. So if you have farm fresh eggs and you want to do hard-boiled eggs, that is the way to do it, in the Instant Pot on 4 minutes on high. So that's what we're going to do. So last week we were making potato salad, and I did the whole spiel, and for some reason, I don't know why, but the audio just didn't capture. So I'm trying a different camera today, so we'll see how this goes. I wanted to make my mom's potato salad. My mom, when she was here, made literally the best potato salad ever, and everybody on earth loves her potato salad. And even now that she's been gone for a couple of years, whenever there's parties, people ask me to bring my mom's potato salad. So before she passed away, actually, she sat down with my daughter and showed her how to make the potato salad so that we could make sure that that carried on from generation to generation. So this is Nani's potato salad, and this is Emma's little recipe. I have a little ace in the hole here that I really like, and that is these Best Made pickles. So I grew up in Southwest Texas. Anybody who grows up there knows that when you go to a football game in the early fall, it's hot. It's just ridiculously hot. You're sitting on these metal bleachers, and so one of the big staples of football game food is these great big, super sour pickles. And after I left Texas, I couldn't find them again. And actually just talking about them literally makes my mouth water. They are so sour and so good. So whenever I make potato salad, I always try to use these Best Made pickles from Texas. I have absolutely no, I don't sponsor them in any way. They don't sponsor me. This is seriously, like, I just really like these pickles a lot. And they make my mouth water. I'll have to eat one. So mom's recipe starts with potatoes. I also just wanted to mention that this bowl is kind of neat. My mom always made her potato salad in a 1960s, 70s era Corningware bowl. I don't know why. Hers is green. It's still at my dad's house. He still uses it all the time. But I was driving through rural West Virginia not too long ago, and I stopped at a gas station that had this neat little antique store in the back of it. And they had this bowl, including the other nesting bowls that go with it, except for the very smallest one, for $35. So I bought it, brought it home, and now this is my potato salad making bowl because it reminds me of my mom. So anyways, we start with the potatoes that I did cook in the Instant Pot. I did have to increase the time of cooking. The whole cooking the potatoes with the eggs did not work at all. The eggs ended up being soft boiled. The potatoes were hard. So I separated it out, started over. Potatoes on manual for 5 to 6 minutes, depending on how al dente you like your potatoes. I did a total of 5 minutes. And then we have pickles. We have mayonnaise, always mayonnaise, never, ever, ever Miracle Whip. I'm sorry if you're a Miracle Whip lover. I'm not, hate the stuff. Always mayonnaise. I like Duke's, again. They don't sponsor me. I don't get paid to say that. It's just super creamy, super good mayonnaise. So mayonnaise, hard-boiled eggs. This is a little mise en place here. I got everything together before we started. Some onions, some celery, and then we've got granulated garlic, paprika, which goes on at the end, A little bit of dill weed. Now, with this particular recipe, because these pickles are so sour and so super dilly, you don't need a lot of dill, but it makes it look a little prettier, so I will put some in there. Celery salt, dry mustard, just kind of, I have to shake it up a little bit because it's kind of all balled up in there. And then salt and pepper to taste. So, get started. I'm just going to go ahead and dump the pickles in. I'm going to put the celery in and the onions in. I'm going to hold off on the eggs for a little bit because I want to I don't want the eggs to get all mushed up while I'm stirring. I'd say this is about a pound of potatoes. Nice, isn't it? 3 total eggs. Whoops. Oh, good news is I have the empty one up here. That's how I get stuff done. All right, 3 total eggs. Mom said, what did she say? 8 dollops of mayonnaise. That's just kind of how we roll. 8 dollops of mayonnaise. So I don't know how many dollops I have in here, but I'm going to try and mix it together. And I can tell you by how creamy it is if it's enough. So I do not think we are at the 8 dollops of mayonnaise here because it is not quite where I want it to be. But at the end, we're going to add some pickle juice, which kind of makes it a little bit creamier. So you have to be careful not to overdo it with the mayonnaise this early in. So I'm going to just stir that up, get a good idea. This is where we're at right now. I'm going to throw those spices in here. This is granulated garlic. Mom uses onion powder too. I just like the granulated garlic, so I just use extra of that. This is the celery salt, just a little bit of that. Now you don't have to use dry mustard, you could just use like yellow mustard, but it does give it a little bit more tang. And this really has enough tang with the pickles that we use. And then of course a little bit of dill just to make it pretty. So we're going to mix all that in now. Whenever I make this, it just makes me think of my mom. It's so much better to do this the day before, but Phil and I were actually traveling yesterday, so we were unable to make it the day before. I do think it needs a little bit more mayonnaise. That's another dollop. You want it creamy enough. But anyways, it's better to do it the day before because then the flavors really kind of meld together and it makes it taste a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the eggs and just very gently fold the eggs in. We don't want them to break up too much. These are, of course, our farm fresh eggs. We have so many eggs right now. It's a lot of eggs. Okay, then the last thing I'm going to do is take, I dropped a little bit in here, but that's okay. Like, I don't know, this is a 2/3 cup, probably actually 2/3 of a cup there, and put the pickle juice in there. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but it's really kind of, the pickle juice really adds to the mayonnaise and gives it a real creamy texture. And the taste is out of this world. Darn it, all over the place. Now, you can add salt if you wanted to, but honestly, the pickles are so salty because of the type of pickles I'm using. And then you also have the celery salt that you've put in here, so you really don't need salt per se. Now as far as the mustard, I'm going by the color. It's not quite yellow enough, so I think it needs more mustard. If you want actual like numbers, my mom says 6 potatoes to 3 eggs, celery to taste. She says stalks and leaves only. I don't put leaves in. 3 pickles, although I only used 1 because it's those great big, these are honker pickles right here. I mean, they're not screwing around pickles, they're pretty big. I'm gonna eat this one now. A quarter of a large onion, 8 dollops of mayonnaise, sprinkle of garlic powder, which is about 1 tablespoon. Onion powder, 1.5 teaspoons, dill weed, 1 tablespoon, celery salt, 1 teaspoon. She puts parsley in hers, I don't. The dry mustard, and you have to put the dry mustard on after the mayonnaise. And then the pickle juice on top, she says 3/4 of a cup. And then paprika is on the very top. And you put the paprika on the top to make it pretty. I think it's a little smoky taste too, but. And we have several different kinds of paprika. For this recipe, I chose some Hungarian paprika. You could also use Spanish, you could use smoked, you could use sweet. Paprika is a jack of all trades when it comes to food, so. All right, so that is my mom's potato salad. It's beautiful, I think, and I'll tell you, it's pretty tasty too. So here is the proof in the pudding. Like I said, it'll be better later after I've had it in the fridge for a while, but so here we go. That's pretty good. The potatoes are still a little bit al dente, I gotta be honest. If I made this yesterday, it would have come out perfectly today. But those al dente potatoes kind of make it a little difficult to eat. So I'm going to actually throw a little bit more pickle juice in here to kind of help break down those potatoes a little bit more. And then by doing that, I'm stirring in all of the paprika. I'm not going to add more paprika. I'll just leave it like it is. But it gives it a nice soupy texture. A little bit more mayonnaise. Oops. There we go. Now it's looking like my mom's. A little bit more texture than, or a little bit more soupy texture. It's more like hers. So I'm going to put this in saran wrap, throw it in the fridge, let it meld together before dinner, and then we'll eat it tonight with dinner because that's what we're having for dinner. But by tomorrow it's going to be perfect. So anyways, that's my mom's potato salad. I hope you all enjoy.
What's that?
So since I'm out here, this is, we're making some smoked chicken on the pit box today. And so that looks like it's going to be pretty tasty. There's Phil.
The seasoning is Everglades Heat. We are not sponsored by them. Receive no money from them, but we think it's a good product.
So here's our greenhouse. Got a piece of tie par up underneath it here. And you can see we have these little raised beds that I'm going to pull this jobby out right here and then fill up the bottom, put it back in, fill up, take it out, you know, put the one on the top, fill up that one. Then we have these old planters that used to be on feet that we're just going to put on this side. We've got little pieces of concrete to level those out. And this is going to be our garden this year. We're going to do it up underneath the greenhouse. So all told in this, I think it was like $280 delivered for the greenhouse. These are each $60 a piece. And these things we've had about 10 years. So I'm not sure. They were probably like 50 or 60 bucks. They have legs on them, but we took them off for this purpose so that they don't shade these guys. So anyway, green beans and stuff on this side, and then our vegetables on that side. Just see how it goes. Ta-da! Are you recording?
I am.
So there is a white chicken out. It wants to be in this little middle chicken tractor with the others because that's where she's been for a while. She doesn't want to hang out with the other white chickens. And it is now sheeting down rain, so it's time to go collect this chicken And I'm just going to throw her in this middle one here, and hopefully she will go with that.
I'm standing on the porch here because I am not going to go out in this rain. It is pouring down rain right now. So I'm just going to walk over here and try and capture Phil in the pouring rain, trying to catch this chicken. He does not appear to want to be caught. That fence, by the way, is electric and it is on. This middle pen here is the pen for, very good! Is the pen where we're putting the chickens who are getting beat up on. So they're kind of in there. It's our recuperation pen. One of them has a big hole in her head where somebody been pecking on her, and then that rooster has a broken leg, we think, from one of the other roosters attacking him. So, but not only, if you guys can look at this. Spring. What'd you say?
There's water collecting on the roof of the
Oh, on top of the greenhouse? Alright. So there's water collecting on top of the greenhouse here. They'll just knock it down, but I have to figure out what to do about that. Since I'm out here. Where'd you go?
Oh, here.
There you are.
You want to come in?
Yes. Here's our, got the, oh, it smells good in here.
Yeah. It's amazing seeing how 50% of this is manure.
Yeah, we've got our boxes all ready to go. Aren't those nice?
Yeah.
And Phil's going to come out here a little bit later and plant some lettuce, I think. Get that in the ground and started. What's going on over here? Did we just run out of stuff?
Looks like. I think they probably just forgot or whatever. So I can put a another one down the center here that goes down the middle of this thing in the top, and that'll keep that water from pooling like it is.
Another bar.
It'll make it more sturdy.
Okay. This thing survived 40-mile-an-hour winds the other night,
Yeah,
so
right at it too.
not doing too bad, really. As always, thank you for watching The Idiot Farmers. If you liked what you saw, please click like and subscribe down below. We look forward to seeing you next week on the next episode. In the meantime, have a great day and be well.